In the forgotten story behind the chaos of World War II, the leaders of the Nazi Party, also known as the masterminds of the Nazi regime, were the orchestrators of the deaths of over 60 million people. One of the infamous Nazi leaders, second only to Adolf Hitler, was Hermann Göring, who surprisingly had a brother opposing his heinous actions. Who is this brave figure and sibling of the German war criminal? Born on March 9, 1895, on the outskirts of Berlin in Friedenau, Albert Göring was the fifth child of the couple Heinrich Ernst Göring and his second wife, Franziska Fanny Tiefenbrunn. However, due to his duties outside Germany, Heinrich was seldom at home and entrusted his family to a friend named Hermann Eppenstein-Knight, a wealthy Jewish doctor and entrepreneur. Since childhood, the family spent most of their time at Burg Weldenstein, a magnificent medieval fortress in Franconia, and Burg Moderndorf, a fairy tale castle in the torn mountains of Austria. Albert's childhood was characterized by luxury, with meals announced with hunting horns, staff adorned in medieval attire, and a choir ready to serve them. Like his brother, Albert also fulfilled the call of duty when World War I broke out. Unlike his brother who worked as a pilot, Albert became a communications and signal engineering officer in the trenches protecting German troops. Unlike his brother Hermann Göring, who joined the Nazi Party with Adolf Hitler after World War I, Albert continued his education by studying mechanical engineering at the Technische Universität München. Albert seemed to lead a normal life as one of the directors of Sascha Film Industry AG in Vienna, Austria. From then on, their relationship strained. There are many short stories of Albert's resistance to Nazi ideology and regime. For instance, Albert was reported to have joined a group of Jewish women forced to scrub the streets. An SS officer responsible for checking identities ordered the scrubbing activity to stop, after realizing that he could be held accountable for allowing Hermann Göring's brother to be humiliated in public. One important figure that Albert Göring managed to free was his former boss. He used his influence to secure the release of his former Jewish boss, Oskar Pilzer, after the Nazis arrested him. Albert then assisted Pilzer and his family in escaping from Germany. He was reported to have done the same for many other German dissidents. Albert intensified his anti-Nazi activities when he was appointed as the export director at Škoda Works in Czechoslovakia. He promoted small acts of sabotage and maintained contacts with the Czech resistance. On numerous occasions, he forged his brother's signature on transit documents to enable dissidents to escape. When he was caught, he used his brother's influence to secure his release. Once, Albert also sent trucks to Nazi concentration camps, claiming that the workers would be used as factory labor at Škoda. However, his planned escape began when the trucks carrying the prisoners stopped midway, and Albert quietly ordered everyone to run. Albert regularly sought his brother's help for his Jewish friends or other political prisoners by manipulating Hermann's ego and leveraging family closeness. Despite 4 arrest warrants issued against him, Albert was never truly detained because his brother always came to his aid. After the war, Albert Göring was interrogated at the Nuremberg trials. However, many of those he had helped testified on his behalf, and he was acquitted. Shortly thereafter, Albert was again arrested by the Czechs but was released when his entire activities became known. Upon release, Göring returned to Germany but was shunned due to his family name. He occasionally worked as a writer and translator, living in a modest flat far from the splendor of his childhood palace. After discovering his infidelity, his Czech wife, Mila, divorced him and moved to Lima, Peru, with their daughter, Elizabeth. In his final years, Göring lived on a government pension. Knowing that if he married, upon his death, the pension payments would transfer to his wife, as a gesture of gratitude, he married his housekeeper in 1966, so that she would receive his pension. 1 week later, Albert Göring passed away without the wartime anti-Nazi activities publicly acknowledged.